America's newest rock star is Donald Trump. An Iranian chess grandmaster underscores why his toilet of a country should be put out of the world's misery once and for all. And are you ready for Bimbo Eruption Redux? My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook and YouTube and Tumblr, and in the book Riell Truth, Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM, The Lion. Our call-in number is 877-254-7524. Welcome back, my friends. New day, new disasters to talk about. But first, some good news item from the Washington Post. Donald Trump went to Lowell, Massachusetts, a town about 5 miles south of the New Hampshire border, for one of his now trademarked big arena rallies on Monday night. This is what the crowd looked like per WAPO's, that's Washington Post, Jenna Johnson. Now, Jenna Johnson sent a tweet that says the following: thousands and thousands packed into arena in Lowell, Massachusetts for Donald Trump's rally, unquote. The building, named after the late Massachusetts Senator Paul Tsongas, holds 8,000 people, and local officials were estimating it was filled to capacity or beyond. That is a massive amount of people, especially considering that the high temperature in Lowell yesterday was 29 degrees, and Trump's rally did not start until the evening, unquote. My friends, political parties pray. They drop down on their knees and pray to God for a candidate who captures voters' attention, captures their imagination, fires their enthusiasm the way Donald Trump does, and the Republicans are trying to destroy Donald Trump. The Republicans, like the Democrats, are the party of business as usual. Well, business as usual is killing America. Every day, in every way, it's killing America. The parties don't care because they benefit even if you and I lose. The fact that they hate Donald Trump means we should be beating the drum every day, telling people that they need to vote for him, need to support him, and telling them why. Why? Because he speaks for the American people. No other politicians, with the possible exception of Ted Cruz, are doing that. Related item from NBC News: with the presidential primaries in full swing, Donald Trump maintains a sizable lead over the rest of the Republican field. Among Republican or Republican-leaning registered voters, Trump has 35% support compared to 18% for Ted Cruz and 13% for Marco Rubio, according to results from the latest NBC News SurveyMonkey weekly election tracking poll for the week of December 28, 2015 through January 3, 2016. Unquote. 35% for Trump. Second place is Ted Cruz. He's a good man. With 18%, Trump is twice as popular as Ted Cruz. So you begin to see the wisdom in the Republican Party leaders wanting to derail him, wanting to slander him, wanting to take his knees out from under him and replace him, not with Ted Cruz, because they also don't like Ted Cruz, but with either Marco Rubio or, God forbid, Jeb Bush, who, if he really huffs and puffs, gets his popularity up to about 3.1%. The takeaway is this: the political parties don't want what the American people want, even though they're supposed to. The parties want what the parties want because it's good for the parties, and the American people can go piss up a rope. Item from the Daily Beast: it's the Bimbo Eruption Redux. As you may have seen, Paula Jones reappeared on Sunday, giving a lengthy interview to a conservative radio host that Breitbart.com pantingly promoted, charging that Hillary Clinton is the enemy of American women. The same day, Clinton was heckled up in New Hampshire by a female Republican state representative to answer for the allegations against her husband regarding two women who say Bill Clinton assaulted or raped them, unquote. My friends, the main question you're hearing today, and I'll field that question. I don't avoid questions here on Riell Truth. Why should we care that Bill Clinton is a piece of trash? We've known that for a long time. What has that got to do with Hillary Clinton? Well, I went over this on the show yesterday. And if you weren't listening yesterday, first of all, shame, shame, shame on you. Second of all, because I'm a sweet guy, I will repeat it for you. Number one, People who are diametric opposites do not marry. If Bill Clinton is a sleazy piece of crap, you can bet that so is Hillary Clinton, and everything we've seen and heard from Hillary confirms that. Number two, Hillary Clinton knew exactly what Bill was doing and didn't care because he was her meal ticket. Anything she was ever going to accomplish in life, she was going to accomplish not because she's smart, she's not because she has a vision for America, she doesn't, but because she was climbing on the coattails of her famous husband. Number three, she led a pack of attack dogs, of political Rottweilers, in going after Paula Jones and the other women, Jennifer Flowers and others, who made these claims against Bill Clinton. Rather than being the women's candidate and standing up for women's rights against men who would exploit them, Hillary Clinton went after them like a pit bull to destroy them because they were trying to take down her meal ticket. They were trying to derail her ambition. So there are three reasons right off the top of my head why Bill Clinton's being a sleazy piece of garbage, an oil stain on the sidewalk, reflects just as badly on his wife, Hillary Clinton, and I think between the two of them, I would pick Bill. Item from thecollegefix.com. East Carolina University students who are good at neck rubs could find themselves hauled before a sexual misconduct board under new rules approved by the Board of Trustees. The new policy describes sexual battery as, quote, the intentional or attempted sexual touching of another person's clothed or unclothed body, including but not limited to the mouth, neck, buttocks, anus, genitalia, or breast, by another with any part of the body or any object in a sexual manner without their consent, unquote. My friends, we're bringing back the Puritans. We know that we heard last week college students say, if you say God bless you to someone who sneezed, well, then you are guilty of a violation. Now, if you so much as rub someone's shoulder, man, you are being hauled before the board on sexual misconduct charges. Meanwhile, the real criminals in this country, those who are truly doing things that make them the enemy of America and the enemy of Americans, well, they just go skipping along because the real crimes never get punished, and this idiotic nonsense invokes the wrath of the PC police. Now, if you're listening to my show, chances are you don't like the PC police any more than I do, but that's not enough. We've got to drive a stake through their hearts. It's Riell Truth. I'll be back.
Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies reminds everyone the chance of involvement in an auto accident rises dramatically with the consumption of alcohol or use of drugs. Please think before you drive. Don't let drugs or alcohol ruin your life or take the lives of others. You are responsible for your own safety as well as the safety of those around you. This message from Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies. For information on their services, call 970-484-7981.
Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets have gone into the world. By this you will know the Spirit of God. Every spirit that confesses that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is of God, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua, Jesus, has come in the flesh is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, which you have already heard was coming and is now already in the world. 1 John 4:1.
Article 4. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall be issued but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the places to be searched and the persons or things to be seized.
Guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell, it's 2016, unless people have been misleading me. I think we got a caller on the line. Do we?
Yes.
Who's this calling?
We spoke yesterday a little bit about Rand Paul, and I donated a lot of thought to kind of where we ended it, and you brought up that this was the sort of thing that needed to be done with a scalpel versus a meat cleaver.
This is my friend from yesterday, Jake. Yeah, Jake, how you doing? What do you want to talk about today?
It just didn't, the reason for that is if we likened the United States to a human being who needed the surgery.
Are we still on Rand Paul today? Wait a second. Are we still talking about Rand Paul?
Some sort of arthroscopic.
Jake, hello?
Jake, hold on.
Are we still talking about Rand Paul?
Hello?
Are we still talking about Rand Paul and his geopolitics?
And if you politics, and I feel like you're inaccurate representation.
Did we not cover this sufficiently yesterday? You told me what you were thinking, and I told you where you were wrong. What is there new to say?
Well, I'm not convinced that I'm wrong, and if you're hearing me out, I'd like to express that.
Well, I don't want to recapitulate what we already covered. Is there something different you want to talk about?
I'll let you talk. This isn't stimulating if neither of us is allowed to take up time.
Well, yeah, but we covered this yesterday. If you have something different you want to talk about, I'm all ears.
I ended at a point that was really kind of silly, to be honest with you. So if we liken it to a surgery, like you're describing.
All right, I'll tell you what, Jake, I'll tell you what. I'm going to move forward with today's news. I covered it pretty well yesterday. When the show is over, if you like, when the show is over, I posted a video of the show. If you want to go to YouTube and watch the video and listen once again to what I said, you can do that. I think you would find it instructive. But Cody, let's move on. Thanks for the call. Item from MNA, Dateline Tehran, Iran. Iran's chess grandmaster refused to play against the Zionist player in the 5th round of international chess tournaments in Switzerland. Once again, an Iranian athlete rejected the existence of the Zionist state to announce that the world, the voice of justice, to announce to the world that the voice of justice and support for the oppressed people of Palestine. The Iranian grandmaster, Ehsan Gaem Magami, withdrew from competing against the Israeli chess player at 2016 Basel Shach Festival chess tournament. Unquote. My friends, this points up everything that I've been saying about Iran. Forget about the fact for a moment that they have a nuclear program, that they're racing to create nuclear weapons with which they have already said they will attack Israel and, if they can, other states in the Middle East and maybe even the United States of America, maybe Europe. Forget about the fact that they have lied along every step of the way of this process. Forget about the fact that Barack Obama is in bed with them and signed a deal that is poison for America and the world. They won't even sit at a chessboard with a Jew. So you tell me what it is that the nation of Iran brings to the world stage that's positive. Everything they do is poison, and that's why I want to end their threat. I say from the beginning, I want to end the Iranian nuclear threat and send a message to the entire jihad world that this kind of stuff doesn't fly in the 21st century. We won't stand for it. We've got to absolutely devastate Iran, leave them in cinders. And maybe, because I'm an optimistic, hopeful kind of guy, maybe the rest of the Arab/Islamic world will take the clue that religious hatred, racial hatred, jihad, nuclear genocide won't fly in the United States of America or in the world community in the 21st century. It takes resolute action. We are never going to get that from Barack Obama. And so I'm hoping that the next president, and by the way, Vladimir Putin over in Russia, who seems to be a leader, a real leader, I'm hoping they will realize that the only path to real lasting peace in the world is the destruction of Iran. Item from NJ.com, Dateline, Newark, New Jersey. A skirmish broke out between rival activists on the steps of City Hall Wednesday during what had been intended as a demonstration against violence in Newark. Police were called to the scene after a small crowd began arguing over escalating violence in the city's attempts to curb it. Unquote. My friends, I just threw this in for the irony aspect. People came to talk about the need to eradicate violence, and they started a fight. What does that say about the people who are, does it say that they're hypocrites? Does it say they're probably liberals, which is the same thing? That's what I would guess. Item from the Express over in England. The Sikh terror group will activate hundreds of sleeper cells in dozens of countries, referring to ISIS, in an unprecedented bid to destabilize Western governments and spark a huge military retaliation in the Middle East. The shock claim from one of the world's leading authorities on the death cult comes amid fears of a New Year's Eve terror plot in London and other major world cities. Stop. That nails it. The death cult. Here's an expert who's Dr. Theodore Karasik, a Gulf-based analyst of regional geopolitical affairs, who rightly uses the phrase death cult. Now, I'll tell Dr. Karasik where he's wrong. He's using the phrase death cult to refer to ISIS. Well, yeah, ISIS is part of a death cult, but the death cult is Islam. It's not a religion, it's not a belief system, it's a cult, and it's a death cult. And it's Ebola in the veins of the world's geopolitical system. It's death to the world, their words, not mine. And just like we seek to eradicate Ebola, we've got to eradicate the deadly disease called Islam. Item from CBS News Dateline, Haddon Heights, New Jersey. Students at Haddon Heights Elementary School are getting a real-life lesson in constitutional law. Staffers at Glenview Elementary School say it became a daily ritual for students to say God bless America after the morning recital of the Pledge of Allegiance, unquote. Haddon Heights Elementary School is getting rid of the phrase God bless America. Now, I'm guessing that if you go online, you'll find a phone number for the administrative offices of Haddon Heights Elementary School. What I'd like you to do, it's probably too late now, but maybe it's not too late, or do it tomorrow morning. Use that phone number, call the head honcho at the Haddon Heights Elementary School, say, can I have a minute? And they'll say, sure, and you say, how dare you? How dare you rob these children of an important element in their development? How dare you ban God from young children's lives and from any place whatsoever in the civic arena? How dare you participate in the pulling apart of the fabric of this country? When God becomes persona non grata, that's when all hope goes out the window. And my friends, God is rapidly becoming persona non grata in the United States. No coincidence that we are circling the bowl. Item from the Economic Collapse blog. The first trading day of 2016 was full of chaos and panic. It started in Asia, where the Nikkei was down 582 points, Hong Kong down 587 points, and Chinese markets experienced an emergency shutdown after the CSI 300 tumbled 7%. When European markets opened, the nightmare continued. The DAX was down 459 points, and European stocks overall had their worst start to a year ever. In the United States, it looked like we were on course for a truly historic day as well. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 467 points at one stage, but some very mysterious late-day buying activity helped trim the loss to just 276 points at the close of the market. The sudden market turmoil caught many by surprise, but it shouldn't have. The truth is that a whole host of leading indicators have been telling us that this is exactly what should be happening. The global financial crisis that began in 2015 is now accelerating, and my regular readers already know precisely what's coming next. Unquote. My friends, if you're not a regular reader of the Economic Collapse blog, you should be. Go there, read what's on there, because this guy who writes it, Michael Snyder, been a guest on my show 3 times, is extremely bright, and he knows what's what. Item from Michael Snyder's other major blog, The End of the American Dream. I quote, 2016 is just a few days old, and already there's been a tremendous amount of shaking. Stock markets all over the world are crashing. A huge earthquake just hit India. The middle portion of the United States is dealing with record flooding. Islamic terror continues to spread in the Middle East and elsewhere. And Saudi Arabia has suddenly cut off relations with Iran. Our world is becoming increasingly unstable, and I believe that this is just the beginning. In fact, I'm fully convinced 2016 is going to be an incredibly chaotic year. Unquote. My friends, you did not have to be Nostradamus to look into the crystal ball and see that 2016 is indeed going to be an incredibly chaotic year, because you and I are doing nothing to prevent it from becoming a chaotic year. Yes, we listen to Riell Truth, which is good. Yes, we go to the right websites on the internet. We get the real news, which is good. What do we do next? A lot of you are involved. A lot of you are activists, and I tip my hat to you. The rest are listening to me to be entertained or be enthralled or be whatever. And I'm telling you, in this day and age, it's not enough. You've got to get active, even if it's only on the internet, even if it's only by phone, even if it's only by sharing the things you find online with others, talking about them. Don't be afraid not to be PC. Tell people what you really think. It's time for activism. We need it. It's demanded, and it's our job to do it. Item from PamelaGeller.com. A couple days ago, I broke the story of the Muslim mobs who were sexually harassing scores of young women on New Year's Eve in Cologne, Germany. Bigger media outlets have finally picked it up, but there's more. This video, when you go to PamelaGeller.com, you'll see the video, shows the wild scene at Cologne Cathedral on New Year's. German police are hunting for a group of up to 1,000 Muslim men who were accused of sexually assaulting, raping numerous women in violent chaos at Cologne's main station. The picture shows the rampant Silvesternacht at Cologne Central Station. At the turn that had come there to shocking scenes. Bangers were uncontrolled, thrown into the crowd. Those were bombs, carelessly igniting flames. Unquote. My friends, you see what's going on in Germany? I've told you before, and I'll say it again, I haven't got even a little bit of sympathy for Germany. Not only because of the Holocaust, not only because of their lingering anti-Semitism, but because of the fact that they stupidly invited these immigrants in. Angela Merkel shamed the world, or she tried to at least, by saying, "Why aren't you taking Muslim immigrants in?" Time magazine has given Angela Merkel the Person of the Year award, and all she's done is commit suicide on behalf of her nation. Let Germany's slow, agonizing death be a lesson to the rest of the civilized world. Where you have large numbers of Muslims, you will have violence, terror, rape, sexual assault, all the poisons that collect in the body politic of any country. Now, as I said, I don't give a rat's ass about Germany. As far as I'm concerned, the place can burn. But it serves as a lesson to us in America and to other civilized countries. What Germany is doing, we must not do. And I say that even as our president is doing it. And even as Congress is not stopping him from doing it. We need to get active, get busy, get angry, and make sure that the Congress and the next president reverse course. Whoever has been brought here from Muslim countries needs to be sent back out. The door needs to slam shut. We need fewer, not more, Muslims in this country. And if that's not PC, well, then you're free to kiss my ass. Item from Agence France Presse. German leaders express shock over dozens of apparently coordinated sexual assaults against women on New Year's Eve in the western city of Cologne, blamed on, quote, Arab-looking men, unquote. My friends, there's a very, very good reason they look like Arab men. They are Arab men. Chancellor Angela Merkel called for a thorough investigation of the repugnant attacks. Stop! Angela, begin by investigating yourself. Step 2, resign. Admit that you're a fool by thinking that after 4,000 years of Arab history, suddenly they're going to change being who and what they are because you're ever so nice. Look at what's happening in France. Look at what's happening in Sweden, Denmark. It's cancer. Yes, it's in the form of human beings instead of cancer cells, but it's cancer nonetheless. And why any country would knowingly inject it into its own veins is totally beyond me. We'll take a break. I will be back.
We all know that our government is out of control. What are the point of people in it? How can we, the people, bring it back to the people's service, not the people's master? Liberty, form, and the freedom of understanding. Officials in Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies reminds everyone the chance of involvement in an auto accident rises dramatically with the consumption of alcohol or use of drugs. Please think before you drive. Don't let drugs or alcohol ruin your life or take the lives of others. You are responsible for your own safety as well as the safety of those around you. This message from Rehabilitation and Nursing Center of the Rockies. For information on their services, call 970-484-7981. Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be scaled to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom catered capabilities is modest and emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to Great Plains Solar.
I'll tell you.
No state shall enter into any treaty, alliance, or confederation.
I'm sorry to push Jake off the air like that, but this is not an ongoing dialogue. And we talked about Rand Paul yesterday. I don't need to talk about him again today. Hopefully he'll watch the video on YouTube or Facebook, and he'll be able to understand exactly where he was wrong. Maybe he's got the ability to learn. I think he does sound like a bright guy.
And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell. If you listen to Hillary Clinton, first of all, you're probably not very bright. Second of all, you should probably seek therapy. But if you listen to Hillary Clinton, you would believe that Muslims the world over are just sitting, relaxing, sitting poolside with a nice little cold drink in their hand, a little pink umbrella in it. And as soon as they heard Donald Trump, they said, son of a gun, let's get terrorists. Well, that's not exactly how the world works. Here's Fox News, Fox and Friends. They got Donald Trump on the line, and they said, what's going on with you being used as a recruitment tool for ISIS, which is certainly a stupid enough idea to, yes, have come out of Hillary Clinton's mouth. Let's listen. And by the way, my friends, let me interrupt. He's absolutely right, and here's what tells me that. When you come to an election, whether it's a presidential election or not, and you ask people if they're going to vote, they say, what's the difference? One politician is just like the next. Nothing's going to change. But they know better now. They know that Donald Trump is not a politician and that things are damn well going to change. And so, yes, all the people who never bothered to get their asses up off the couch to vote will vote because they know that this may be the last chance America has to save itself as it's going over the precipice. So what Trump's saying is spot on right.
Just look at the debates for a second. The people who come in for the most part.
Well, my prediction is that Hillary will continue to call names and slander Donald Trump because the only alternative would be to talk about her accomplishments, and she has none. She hasn't done anything that she can boast about. She was a dreadful Secretary of State. She was a nothing as a senator from New York. The only thing she's ever accomplished in life is getting the name Clinton after Rodham. So she's got nothing positive to run on, only negative, and that's why she will continue to throw mud. Item. Well, I'm going to scroll down here. I'm not going to do that one. From Truth Out. While the mainstream media focuses on ISIS extremists, a threat has gone virtually unreported is that your life savings could be wiped out in a massive derivatives collapse. Bank bail-ins have begun in Europe, and the infrastructure is in place in the U.S. Poverty also kills. At the end of November, an Italian pensioner hanged himself after his entire 100,000 euro savings were confiscated in a bank rescue scheme. He left a suicide note blaming the bank where he had been a customer for 50 years and had invested in bank-issued bonds. But he might better have blamed the EU and the G20's Financial Stability Board, which have imposed a, quote, orderly resolution regime that keeps insolvent banks afloat by confiscating the savings of investors and depositors. Some 130,000 shareholders and junior bondholders suffered losses in the quote-unquote rescue. The Pensioners Bank was one of 4 small regional banks that have been put under special administration over the past 2 years. The 3.6 billion euro rescue plan, that's 3.83 billion US dollars, launched by the Italian government, uses a newly formed National Resolution Fund, which is fed by the country's healthy banks. But before the fund can be tapped, losses must be imposed on investors. In January, EU rules will require that they also be imposed on depositors, unquote. My friends, when we translate this from Italian into English, it's theft. The banks will take your money. And make no mistake about it, if it's happening in Europe, it's coming here. Theft. No way to pretty it up. It's all that it is. We'll take a break. We will be back. All right, guys. All done. Share the video, please. Hasta luego.